thought that I was going to host my own world, but I've decided not to because there are a whole lot of things that you aren't going to see if I do that. So the next thing I want to cover is choosing a server. So when you first go in to choose a server, it's going to look like this. The column on the right is the ping to the server. So the higher that is, generally the further away the server is. Even if it's not further away, the worse your connection will be. If you see down along the bottom, I can't actually highlight it, but down along the bottom it has back, change tab, and whatnot. I'm going to press triangle to refresh the list, and probably the same server will still be at the top. Yep, where the buffalo roam with 77 ping. So yeah, refreshing the list makes you understand that that server, it wasn't a fluke that it had a good ping at that time. So I generally refresh the list a couple of times to see where I've got a good ping. Over here on this side, where I'm moving my mouse around over on the right hand side, that is various filters you can put on the list. And I like to go with, where is it, password protected? No, because obviously I don't know any of these people. I don't know what their passwords are. If a friend invites you, sure, but there's a different way you could do that. You could, come on, go back to any, go back. Wow, that thing's, it's really not wanting to go to any. Here, friends, you can set that to yes and see where your friends are. So if a friend invited you to a server that they are hosting, then presumably they are on the server and it would show up when you select that. If you want to find places you've been before, you can set previously visited. That's useful if you are playing and have to take a break, like to go eat dinner or whatever. Mom makes you take out the garbage, whatever happens, and want to come back, you can find that you previously visited that server. So right now, we're going to go with password protected is no. Over in the list, you see these PS4 East 3 CLE official. The CLE officials are hosted by CLE, the manufacturer of the game. Thank you, CLE, for this great game. And so those, there's not a singular person that hosted them. There's not someone on there that's going to be watching and kick you if you come in with a willow. However, they can vote to kick you. So the 4 players you see under the players column, there are 4 of possibly 6 players on this server, and they could get together and say, hey, we want to vote to kick that person off. And if you play long enough, that will happen. Either you will be involved in a vote one way or another. Either you are voting or being voted upon. Hopefully the former, and not being voted upon to be kicked. What I want to do right now is join a server. Now, when I clicked on this, if you look over on the right-hand side, that changed to the server details. You can actually use, at least on PlayStation, R2 and L2 to change between the filters and the server details. I'm not exactly sure how to do that on the computer, but I'm sure, I would guess you just click on them. But what we're interested in is down below the big old join button where it says survival. That's the type of server. A survival server is your normal type. There are a couple of other types. There's endless, which means if you die, you just go back to the portal and the portal will resurrect you. And there is also wilderness, where if you die, it puts you back at character selection. You can choose a different character. You can choose the same character, whatever. And you will drop back into the world in a random location. So those are the 3 types: survival, wilderness, and endless. But what we're really interested in are the 2 lines below survival, where it says early autumn, day 2. Before you join a server, know what season you're in. Nothing irritates veteran players more than someone joining on day 37, midwinter, and then complaining that they are cold at the portal. Because you joined the server and presumably you knew what day it was on, so if you can't survive, why did you join? And it really irritates veteran players when people do that. So look for what day it's on. Join in a season that you can survive in. We are going to join this server here on day 2. There are 0 players on it, and that's good for my recording here. And then I will show you some good and possibly some bad habits to do on your first day. Obviously, this is day 2. I'm not going to try to reset the server or anything. I'm just going to go with it, and we will run along on day 2, eventually, if we ever get connected. And this begins to make me wonder if we will ever get connected. There's some noise going on in my house, so I'm going to close my office door to reduce the noise for everyone else that's listening here. Wow, it's taking forever to connect. I'm going to cancel and try again here. Let's try joining again. By the way, this is one of the things to know about joining servers is there are sometimes connection problems. It happens. Okay, there's probably a reason nobody's on that server. Apparently that server is not functioning well. This one's going to have a terrible ping, but I'm going to try joining it anyway. It is on day 2 as well. I'm choosing it again because there are no players on it. I'm sitting here talking to you and giving explanations, and that would just be annoying to any players that are on the server. I'm going to choose Winona. Part 1, I went through characters and why to choose them or not to choose them. Winona I am choosing in this instance simply because I have not played with her much. I played with her once and not for very long. So I just spawned in, got the portal, obviously. I picked up one of the pumpkins. That's a new thing, and I don't know if that's going to last. So, you know, if you're watching this in 6 months' time, I don't know if those will actually be there or not. Immediately, your first day on the server, you immediately want to start gathering grass. That's going to be in every Don't Starve tutorial you will ever see. Grass, sticks, and flint. Grass, sticks, flint. Grass, sticks, flint. One of the things that annoys me to no end is new players that join a server and don't keep grass, sticks, and flint in their packs. You should always have grass, sticks, and flint. Always, always, always. How much you have, well, that can vary. Like, it's about to be night if you look up there on our day-night indicator. Good. Okay, I have 2 sticks, and I have plenty of grass, so I'm going to move this in my pack. I want it to start right over here. I have a way I like to organize my pack. You can organize yours how you want. But I am going to create that, but I am not going to keep it equipped. And now I have a torch ready to go. Like I said, grass, sticks, flint, grass, sticks, flint. You always want grass, sticks, and flint. I'm going to put this back where I wanted it organized. Okay, so lesson number 1. Don't let night stop you. Especially in the early days, you've only got the 2 little time click segments, whatever you want to call them, 2 hours, whatever, of night. A torch will last you all night, 1 singular torch at the beginning of the game. Later in the game, you may need 2 or even 3 in midwinter. But that's why you always keep grass, sticks, and flint on you. Just never let night stop you. That's one of the biggest mistakes I see new players make. They will stop, set up a campfire at night, and I'm going to go back to my map and let you see all that distance I covered all the way across that field? I would have never covered that distance this early in the game if I had stopped and made a campfire. Now I don't need my torch anymore. Let's not waste it. I see a chest down here. I'm going to investigate that. Oh, hello. This is one of the set pieces. This one is dangerous. This chest is a trap, so I'm not going to open it. If you open it, it will, the inside of it is a fire wand and gunpowder, and it will light up that entire little fort. Start it burning down. So we're not going to do that. In order to disable the trap, we need a hammer. This brick road, generally if you find a brick road, it will usually lead to the Pig King on one end and the pig village on the other. This end would be the pig village. I actually know that because of the grass. This little grass farm, the Pig King doesn't have a grass farm. I don't know why. Don't ask me, I don't know. But that means the Pig King is on the other end of this brick road. So yeah, there you go. Day one, as I said, don't let night stop you. Get yourself grass, twigs, flint, and just go. Use your torch at night and keep going. Here's a little trick for you. If you drop a berry, you only need to drop one. That gobbler will fixate on it, just like he has, and you can actually punch this gobbler to death. Of course, the pigs will also eat the berries, which is something you can do for manure. But right now, I'm just gathering berries to see me on my way. Early in the game, you just want to explore, explore, explore. And to that end, you are going to need food. So here we go, food, food, food. And then we'll get moving again. Just lots of food. Lots and lots of food. Hello, turkey. We'll get you your food, too. Oh, 2 turkeys. I'm messing up here. But that's okay. Okay, drop that. Wow, 4 turkeys. Oh, there's one. I'm going to need more berries. More than 1 berry, I mean, to get these guys to do what I want them to. There we go, lots of turkeys. Well, I don't want that manure, at least not right now. Later in the game that will become important. Here comes this pig trying to eat my stuff. That's okay. We got lots of food there, so I'm just going to head on. As I said, early game, exploration is what it's all about. So, things we want to find in the early game. Oh, yeah, let me back up. I said don't let night stop you. Also, early game, you want to also find things for the group. Right now, there's nobody else on the server, but if there were, I would have told them I found the brick road. It's east of the spawn. If you go to the map, east is to the right. So the brick road is off to the east of spawn. Actually, it's down south as well. And then I would tell them that I went northeast on the brick road, found the pig village, things of that nature. Then at this point, here's some rocks. So I would tell them beyond the pig village, I found rocks. That tumbleweed tells me that there is a desert nearby, and I would report that to the group as well. Got tumbleweeds up here. Looks like there's a desert up here in northeast. Telling people that you found things, but not telling them where is not useful. So I've had a lot of players that'll join the game, and they'll say, I found the pig village. Okay, that's great for you, but tell me where it's at, because telling me that you found it is not at all useful. If I still have to wander the entire world to locate it, you didn't help me. You see I'm out of twigs here. I only have 19% left on my torch. So always be watching your twigs, your grass, and your flint, because if you run out of those things, you are going to be in trouble. This happens to be a twiggy tree world. So the 2 branches down at the bottom, that indicates that this twiggy tree is fully grown, which means if we chop it down, we'll get 2 twiggy tree seeds. You only want to chop down fully grown twiggy trees, if you can at all help it, because then you can plant more of them. Boom. And boom. And you will have more twigs in the world. I actually don't like twiggy tree worlds at all because it makes twigs hard to get early in the game, like right now, because you have to go through this little process every time you want twigs. But later in the game, when these twiggy trees start actually producing, then it will be much better. So, chop down some more twiggy trees. I didn't mean to pick up that seed. A seed this early in the game is not something you actually need, so I'm just going to eat it. And move that over there. Okay, organize things the way I want them. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, I want to go like that. Okay, so yeah, we've got a little bit of wood. We've got some grass. We can make either a fire or a torch. And since we're here in this rock biome, I'm going to make a fire, and I'm going to mine at night. So when I said don't let night stop you, I don't necessarily mean you have to be moving. You know, that first night when I used the torch and kept moving, you don't have to be moving, but you need to be doing something. Don't let night just stop you cold. Always be doing something. So in this case, we are mining tonight. I will also use a bit of the night since the campfire won't let me go too far. Well, I still got twiggy tree cones I meant to use on them. But I'm going to use the night to cook my food. Oh, I thought those were going to end up over here. No, not that one. That's not what I meant to pick up. But yeah, I'm going to cook all of this. So yeah, we went all night always doing something, and that's what I'm on about, is don't just stand at a campfire through the night. That's just a waste of time. It'll put you way behind the 8 ball. Always be doing something. Okay, so I think I am going to go ahead and just grab a few more rocks here, and then I'm going to call it. This has been the beginning, how to choose a server. Like I said, always choose one where you can survive. Don't join on day 37 in the middle of winter and expect people to save you. That just annoys people. Also, you notice it's day 4. Even if there were players on this, say there were already 5 players on this, I would not be asking where's the base. For 2 reasons. Number 1, it is autumn. In autumn, there's no things that I'm scared of. I can wander around the world. The world is full of food. I can find food. I can support myself. And so rather than ask them where's the base and go to base and start just nomming on their resources, I'm going to go out and gather resources. Once I have some resources and can actually contribute to the base, then I might ask them where's the base, if I haven't already found it. So yeah, number 1, it's because of what day it is. It's mid-autumn. It's early on. But even at that, just generally speaking, for the first 3 days, expect that you should be able to support yourself for 3 days. If you're a veteran player and can support yourself in winter, then sure, join on day 37. But expect that you will get no help for 3 days. Then after you've wandered around the world for 3 days, then if you haven't found the base, then ask where's the base. Sure, I'll learn how to make cut stone. Why not? Also, you notice I've not picked up a singular flower. I've been in this world 3 days. Well, today is the 3rd day, and I've not picked up a singular flower. And you can see that my brain is relatively full. I did just learn that recipe, so that gave me a little boost. But I tend not to pick any flowers until my 3rd day in. When I start would make that vary a bit because nights get longer and shorter, and the longer the night is, the more sanity you'll lose. But especially if I'm starting right at the beginning, then 3 days is easy. I won't pick any flowers for 3 days. That's a big difference between Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together. Don't Starve Together, you can have up to 6 players in this world. And if everybody is picking every flower they come across, you will quickly denude the world of flowers. And if you denude the world of flowers, well, you won't get any more because you need flowers to spawn butterflies to make flowers. And you won't have any honey because the bees need flowers to make honey. So I tend to be a bit cautious about which flowers I pick up. Hello, butterfly wings. I don't really need you right now, but I'm going to eat you to get you out of my pack. Something I definitely do, and again, this is part of not asking for base, is once I have some gold, I will make my own science machine. No, it's not going to be a permanent base. That's not what I'm doing. I'm going to make a science machine, learn how to make a few items, and then I will knock down my science machine and recover the resources. But it's just about being self-sufficient. There's nothing more annoying to other players than someone that cannot support themselves. You're either a net contributor to the group or you are a taker from the group. And the group will not like takers. They want contributors. So I am going to stop here. Yeah, this looks like a great place to stop. I'm going to move away from the spiders a bit. I'm going to stop here and call it a day on this particular video. But like I said, keep moving at night, be a net contributor, and be self-sufficient. Those are the big things I will say about Don't Starve Together. And hope you're enjoying this particular segment of Don't Kick Me Bro, a beginner's guide to Don't Starve Together, trying to teach you how it's different from Don't Starve. And I will see you next time. Take care.